Hello and welcome. On Friday, Netflix released Season 2 of Kingdom, a zombie horror series set in early 17th century Korea. I completely loved the first season, so I wanted to celebrate Season 2's release by talking about my favourite sequence from Season 1, Episode 3. I'm Sandy Nicholson, and this is Perfect Scares. First things first, Kingdom is great. It's fantastic proof that there's still life in the zombie genre, and it's incredibly beautiful to look at. You can pause the screen at almost any moment and see the most astonishing photography. The only problem with talking about this sequence is that it's nearly 20 minutes long, so I am going to be skimming through. But really the whole thing is a masterclass of a horror thrill ride, so get round to it if you haven't yet. In this scene, the zombies have just reached a small village and chaos is about to break out. Let's take a look. The main topic today is going to be reversals, which we touched on briefly when we discussed Scream, but we can go into a lot more detail here. A reversal, in its most basic form, is when something good turns into something bad, or something bad turns into something good. Like a battery, this process of moving from one to the other energizes the scene, and also like a battery, the trick is in how we get from one side to the other. The simplest of these comes here and starts the pendulum going. They manage to escape from under the house, but it isn't safe there either, and other people are fleeing too. There's an amazing tracking shot here as they're surprised by the horde that reminded me of another formative scare from my childhood. But here's where I think it really starts getting good, when they get to the prison. Fumbling with the keys and trying to open a door in time is something we've seen a lot of. But here it's not just through the door and we're safe. First it's used as a barrier, and then when they do get inside, this happens. Now that is a great reversal. The lock that was supposed to save him now has him in more danger than ever. And what's worse, now the prisoner in the next cell is bitten too. She's able to think quickly and save them. But then this beautiful shot takes us right back into the danger. So I want to introduce the screenwriting concept now, so niche that you have to be a properly obtuse weirdo to have heard of it, and that is the spike equilibrium. This is a term coined by Peter Fenzel, Matt Belinkie, and the people at the Overthinking It podcast that came about at a lecture on game theory. Simplified, game theory is the process of thinking about a situation from all perspectives in order to figure out the best outcome. As part of this, the speaker posed the question, how would you use game theory to win a game of chicken? The answer he was looking for was to cut off the steering wheel and throw it out of the car, letting the other person know that you physically couldn't steer and therefore their best course of action was to get out of the way. You need to let the opponent know that you've made a change to your payoff structure. But someone in the audience shouted,
"Put a spike on the front of your car."
The speaker then explained that the crash would already be bad enough that the spike doesn't change the stakes of it, but that it would make the game more awesome. And thus, the spike equilibrium was born, something that you put into a scene that doesn't change the outcome, but makes it more awesome. Enter these guys. Come on, that's great. Kingdom's great. There's a really nice transition scene where another reversal is used to shift the focus to a different character, and this is a great demonstration of how even miniature reversals can add tension to a scene. This moving back and forth between the positive and the negative not only makes it more heartbreaking when she dies, but it also keeps everything really kinetic as we transition to. Just excellent, just an excellent moment. And now, in a second spike equilibrium, burning zombies have entered the scene. These two vignettes are really great at populating the series. None of these people are our main characters, but their tiny stories really give depth and texture to what's happening in this village. The world of the show feels bigger now that we've taken the time to see this from other perspectives.
엄마 왜 그래? 무서워. 엄마 하지 마. 하지
Speaking of seeing it from other perspectives, just like we saw earlier with this moment, when the show wants to widen the scope and have a new character join the scene, it makes sure to link the character to the events we've just watched. In this case, he's watching the devastation when he gets wrapped up in it. This helps keep the momentum as we keep widening the scope to bring in new characters. It maintains the feeling that this is a continuous sequence that just keeps going. And watch this. You can see how in every little chunk of that sequence the pendulum is swinging back and forth, maintaining that tension as we sprint towards the final moments. The fact that it all ends up underwater gives the conclusion this almost serene feeling of relief as we catch our breath and watch the zombies drown. And with that, they're out of the danger. But and that is my favourite sequence from Season 1 of Kingdom, and I've heard from some people that there's another amazing one that opens up Season 2. I can't wait to watch it. Let me know what you think of Kingdom in the comments, and as ever, if there's a scene you want me to cover, I read all your messages, so subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.